Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to be speaking about probably one of the biggest hurdles on any manifestation journey. And that hurdle is all about knowing how to ask for what it is you want the universe to provide. In other words, how do I make a request for abundance? How do I even know what it is that I want? For so many people, this seemingly simple act of asking with clarity and precision can be entangled with feelings of shame or guilt or unresolved trauma. Am I worthy? Am I deserving of asking for what I want? Are there going to be any consequences for making such a big ask of the divine? Who am I to want what I want? Right? So these types of limiting beliefs or negative emotions may arise when getting clear about asking, and they can really hold you back from freely asking the universe for more abundance. So let's get into today's conversation. Becoming a co-creator with the Creator is your birthright. Together, we'll journey into your deepest authenticity. Because the more you align with who you truly are, the more effortlessly you call in the life that you desire and deserve. And most importantly, the more you step into your soul's highest purpose. Welcome to the Manifestation Method podcast, your number one source for Kabbalistic manifestation. Here we combine the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah, modern psychology, and quantum physics to help you achieve real, tangible manifestation results with my proven Abra method. I'm Ayelet Polonsky, and I'm here to guide you on your journey of manifesting a life that is aligned, expansive, and deeply connected to your highest self through the sacred energetic mechanics of Kabbalistic manifestation. To learn how to use Kabbalistic manifestation to transform your life from the inside out, go to ayeletpolonsky.com or download the Manifestation Method app. Let's open the gates of manifestation together. Perhaps you've been taught that asking for more means that you're not grateful for what you already have, or that it's selfish or greedy to ask for more. Or maybe you've internalized spiritual or cultural conditioning that associates money with abundance or corruption or materialism or even with evil. I'm sure many of us listeners can relate to this. Maybe your family viewed striving for abundance as being vain or unnecessary, equating it with losing sight of deeper values. If I ask for more, it means I'm greedy or I'm egotistic, right? These narratives get so wrapped up into who we are and what we're able to manifest. And these narratives, whether they're personal to you or they're inherited from family, culture, community, they can really block you from embracing this universal truth. And that is that abundance is your birthright. Abundance is your birthright, right? You came into an abundant world and the divine wants to give you what you want. But how do we get out of our own way? How do we make that request without seeming greedy? And this isn't just about money or material wealth. When I talk about abundance, it really is about an energy of abundance itself. And this energy is deeply connected to love. Right? Love and abundance are two sides of the same coin, and they both stem from a state of openness, worthy, and flow. Right? If I love myself, then there is no question as to whether or not I am worthy of receiving. There is infinite amounts of what to receive in the universe, and the world is abundant. So how could it be the case that God, Source, the Creator, doesn't want me to have a big piece of that pie, right? And asking for abundance isn't simply about requesting financial security or opportunities, although it might be. It's really about asking the universe to help you expand into a state of limitless possibility where love, joy, and prosperity are woven into the fabric of your life. And just as it can be challenging to ask for abundance, it can feel equally vulnerable to ask for the kind of love that we dream of or deserve. So for many, there's a fear around asking for a love that truly fulfills us. It can be fear of rejection, fear of being too much, or fear of being unworthy of that love. So perhaps you've settled for less in the past, or you've been told that wanting a deeply aligned partnership is unrealistic or selfish. These same feelings of shame and guilt can arise, just as they do with any form of abundance, which makes it really hard to claim what your heart knows is possible. And your heart does truly know that you're worthy, that you're deserving, and that abundance is a possibility for you. You know, the truth is, love and abundance are interconnected energies, and both flow from a sense of worthiness. And both love and abundance require you to step into your power, to ask for and receive what you desire. When you allow yourself to ask for abundance, you're not just asking for material resources. You're asking for the freedom to live fully, to support others, and to thrive in alignment with your highest purpose. And similarly, when you ask for love, you're not asking to take from another person. What you're asking for is for connection, for intimacy, and for a mutual exchange of energy that uplifts and nourishes both of you, essentially. But for so many of us, this act of asking feels like a radical step because it challenges deeply ingrained beliefs. It really asks us to confront fears of inadequacy, feelings of not being enough, and societal narratives that tell us that we should be satisfied with what it is that we already have. But here's the thing. The universe does not operate from a place of scarcity. The universe is infinitely abundant, and it wants you to thrive in every way. So asking for abundance and asking for love both really require an open heart and a willingness to believe that you are worthy of receiving. And when you take that brave step to ask, to get clear, what is it that I want without any limitation, to be unapologetic about your ask, right? Whether it's for financial opportunities or a soul-aligned relationship, whatever it is, by doing this, you're signaling to the universe that you are ready to expand, to receive, and to live in alignment with your highest potential. So let this be your reminder, if you need one, that it is not selfish to ask for what you desire. It's an act of self-love. It's an affirmation of your worthiness. And it's a declaration to the universe that you are ready to live a life of abundance, filled with love and with limitless possibilities. Right? So let's talk about this from a more Kabbalistic perspective, shall we? So according to Kabbalah, the potential of every end result, the potential of every manifestation, the potential of every possibility exists at the beginning of any creation. So let me explain. Sefer Yetzirah, which is one of the main Kabbalistic texts, has one of my favorite phrases, and in Hebrew it goes like this: Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila, which translates in English to the end result exists in the initial thought. The end result exists in the initial thought. So when the Creator set out to create the world, there was a clear purpose and a clear outcome in mind. The end result existed in that initial thought to create the cosmos in God's, so to speak, mind. And since we human beings are made in what's called in Kabbalah Tselem Elokim, we are made in the image of the divine, This means that you too have within you a God particle. You have a God particle that gives you this potential, this capacity to create, to be a co-creator. So both Kabbalah and quantum physics teach us that our prayers and our intentions can change the world. To begin any manifesting process, you must get clear about what you want to co-create. You must get clear about what you want to co-create, right? When manifesting abundance, your intention must also deeply align with your inner truth, with your soul's calling, and it must cultivate or raise in you a sense of excitement, a sense of joy or possibility that naturally elevates your vibrational frequency. What this means is that your desires should not stem or be rooted in societal expectations of you. They shouldn't be rooted in comparisons. If that person has the nice car, the nice house, or the husband, that means I should want it, right? That's comparison. Your desires should not be rooted in fear, but they should be rooted in a place within you that is authentic and that is connected to your higher self. And when your intention resonates authentically, it simply feels like a natural extension of who you are and what you truly value. So this alignment of what you want corresponding to your authentic self, it generates within you emotions like gratitude, excitement, and peace, right? It just feels right. It's like, you know that even if it's hard to ask, somewhere in me, this is what I want. And if you want it, it means your soul is trying to like blast out of your body and say, and like shake you up and say, go after it. You wouldn't, if your soul didn't want you to go after it, then the simple urge, the simple desire wouldn't exist to begin with. And these emotions that are in alignment with your desire, like we said, gratitude, excitement, peace, they are high frequency states that really help you energetically match the reality that you want to create. So in this process, it's not just about choosing what you think you should want, but it's about tuning into your soul's desires, tuning into those aspirations that ignite passion and purpose within you. Maybe you've wanted to write a book, or maybe you wanted to start your own business. Maybe you want a certain type of life partner, and you want a certain type of home, right? It should really ignite a certain passion and purpose within you. And if it does, then you know it's in alignment with what your soul is meant to be receiving in your lifetime. And the more your intention vibrates at this authentic frequency, the more effortlessly it draws in opportunities and synchronicities that align with your vision. Right? High vibrational intentions act like magnets. They pull in the corresponding experiences towards you because you're operating from a place of truth, not from a place of resistance or expectation. So by focusing on what genuinely excites and uplifts you, you naturally raise your energy, which makes manifestation a joyful and fluid process rather than one that, can be ridden with struggle or doubt or fear. And let's talk about the importance of getting clear on what it is that you want. And I'll share a little metaphor to drive the point home. So imagine two captains, each on their own ship, and one has a clear destination, while the other lets the wind take him wherever it pleases. The one with a clear destination arrives safely, while the other ends up shipwrecked on some distant island. Right? And the lesson here is simple. If you want your goals to manifest, part of the process is getting crystal clear about what it is you want. But a question I get asked often is, how do I determine what it is that I truly want? I don't even know what I want. Some people, they're just trying to get by, or they're just trying to stay afloat because their life is so hectic. So how is it that I even determine what my desires are? And how do I differentiate between my authentic desires that are my soul's calling and the conditioned desires imposed on me by family, community, society. So let me start by sharing a real life example about a client of mine named Jessica. So Jessica was a corporate executive who came to the manifestation program feeling really stuck, despite her financial stability. And she really longed for a life of greater fulfillment, but she couldn't pinpoint exactly what she wanted. She was stuck. And initially, Jessica believed that she should just aim for a promotion at work. She thought that was the next logical step in her career. However, during our work together, it became clear that her desire for a promotion was more rooted in societal expectations than it was in her authentic goals. So, through doing some guided exercises and hypnoactivation techniques, Jessica began uncovering layers of limiting beliefs that were tied to her upbringing. She quickly realized that she had internalized the notion that asking for anything beyond financial security was selfish or greedy, right? Kind of like how her parents struggled to make ends meet, and that was her model of financial abundance growing up, right? If I want abundance, then I have to struggle. I have to hustle. And so this led to Jessica feeling a lot of guilt and resistance when considering abundance in non-material forms, such as time freedom, creative expression, or joy, right? It was all kind of weaved into the same tapestry of this limiting belief. Like abundance was this umbrella that she did not have access to because it was met with this guilt and resistance. So in one session working together, I asked her to imagine her ideal day without any constraints. And she was really surprised when she envisioned herself not in a corporate office, but running a boutique consulting firm. And in her vision, she was helping women align their careers with their personal values. And as we were going through this hypno visualization process, she described feeling energized and creative and fulfilled in this scenario, which was a really stark contrast to her current reality. So this clarity marked a breakthrough for Jessica, right? Her ask, what she was asking of the universe, was not about climbing higher on the corporate ladder, but rather about creating a lifestyle that offered meaningful work and more time with her family. So Jessica, over some time, reframed her intention for abundance and began focusing on opportunities that aligned with her vision of freedom, purpose, and joy. And within weeks of setting this clear, authentic intention, Jessica began noticing synchronicities. So a former colleague invited her to collaborate on a consulting project. And from there, all these new doors opened for Jessica, allowing her to transition into a career that genuinely reflected her true, authentic desires. And when reflecting on experiences that didn't work out, she was managed to get to a place, and I invite you all to join Jessica in this perspective. When reflecting on experiences that don't work out, never see them as I wasted my time, right? Each experience is an arrow pointing you closer to clarity. I say that obstacles are often reroutes to a better destination, and they're opportunities to grow, learn, and understand yourself more deeply. So any obstacle really becomes a divine lesson or a blessing in disguise. And no matter the size of your goal, I invite you to be resilient in clarifying what it is you want and identifying what it is that might be standing in your way. This is truly a key pillar in manifesting your desires. Which brings me to what I call the manifestation ladder and honing in on your why when it comes to abundance, right? So let's talk about it. Sometimes our sense of self-worth becomes the greatest obstacle to achieving our goals and desires. When we feel unworthy, we often believe that our worth is tied to meeting certain conditions, and it creates a significant barrier between us and the abundance we dream of. And this belief often stems from deeply ingrained messages that we absorbed, oftentimes as little children. And these are messages that are shaped by our upbringing, shaped by cultural norms, societal pressures, and personal experiences. And you might feel that you need to reach a certain milestone to prove your value to others or to overcome specific challenges before you can truly deserve abundance. Right? Some limiting beliefs around abundance that I often meet in my clients are, they sound something like, I'll be worthy when I have a stable job that pays well. Or I'll be worthy when I can afford to buy a home. Or I'll be worthy if I can pay off my debt. Or I'll be worthy when I no longer live paycheck to paycheck. I'll be worthy if I can provide more for my children, or I'll be worthy when I have savings for the future, etc., etc. Right? And these beliefs can feel especially heavy if you've faced systemic barriers or economic hardships or grew up in a household where abundance felt really out of reach. So the pressure to succeed or to break generational cycles can really make the idea of self-worth feel conditional, as something that you must earn or prove, rather than something that you inherently possess because the moment you were born, God said that the world could no longer exist without you. And therefore, because God chose you to exist in the world, you inherently are worthy. You are inherently deserving. You are inherently unique. And so it's really crucial to understand that worthiness is not conditional. You do not need to meet any prerequisites to be deserving of abundance, of joy, of fulfillment, right? The truth is you are worthy right now. No ifs, no whens, just as you are in this very moment. And this doesn't mean ignoring the challenges you face or dismissing the very real obstacles in your path. It simply means recognizing that your worth is not defined by external achievements or circumstances or anyone else's approval. It's about embracing your inherent value as a human being, regardless of where you come from or where you are going. And really, what it comes down to, a manifestation principle that I share goes like this. The stories you tell yourself about yourself become your reality. So the stories that you tell yourself about your worthiness, about your deservingness, will actually shape the manifestations in your 3D world. Are you in victim mode? Are you sabotaging success? Are you asking, why me? Why is this the life I'm living? This is not the dream I had for myself. The more you put yourself into that loop or way of thinking, the more you're going to keep manifesting more scarcity, more situations that affirm your victimhood as a divine test for you to overcome that way of thinking. Right? So are you affirming your value and potential, or are you allowing limiting beliefs, which are often influenced by societal or cultural narratives, to take over? So a couple questions I often ask my clients or my students in order to kind of explore this deeply and do the inner excavation work are questions like, whose standards am I holding myself to? Right? Am I holding myself to the standard of what my dad expected of me? Am I living my life according to how my community expects me to live my life? Am I living my life according to how my kids want me to show up, or my society, right? Whose standards am I holding myself to? It's such an important question to ask yourself in order to get clear, to deepen your level of self-awareness. Another question is, are these beliefs serving me, or are they keeping me stuck? Right? Another question that allows you or offers you an opportunity to really put that mirror in front of your face and get crystal clear, get honest with yourself. There's no moving past the blockage of scarcity and into abundance without getting crystal clear and honest with the narratives and the stories that you are holding onto, that you have adopted from other people that you were not born with. Okay. And another question could be, what would it feel like to embrace the idea that I am enough right now? And start to journal on that question. and really paint a clear, vivid picture. And I invite you to be so unapologetic. What would it feel like to embrace the idea that I am enough right now? How would I walk through the world? How would I talk? What would I be doing differently if I embrace this idea that I am enough right now? What are the thoughts that I would think to myself about myself? What would I be reflecting to the world around me if I walked through life as being enough and really truly knowing on a cellular level that I am worthy? So by challenging these stories that undermine your self-worth, you create a space to step into a life that really reflects your true potential. Because again, worthiness is not something you earn. It's something you already have. And when you feel fully in your own worth, you open the doors to abundance, to love, to the joy that have been waiting for you your entire life to like wake up to this truth. Okay? And so a little bit about this manifestation ladder, because when it comes to manifesting abundance, many of us are constrained by what we perceive as being quote unquote realistic, right? This idea of I have to be realistic is often a mindset shaped by our past experiences, by psychological conditioning, by societal influences. And at the same time, quantum physics reveals the limitless possibilities that are available to us in every moment if we are willing to align our beliefs and our actions with those infinite possibilities. And our subconscious minds play a crucial role in shaping our perceptions, which can either empower us or limit us, depending on what those perceptions are. So, for example, if you are currently earning $2,000 a month and you envision an income of $10,000 a month, it might feel out of reach because your subconscious has not yet embraced this reality that $10,000 a month is a possibility. However, there isn't a limitation of your true potential. It's simply a reflection of the neural pathways shaped by your previous experiences and beliefs. But the good news is that these neural pathways can be rewired, no matter how old you are. And they can allow you to step into new levels of abundance and possibility. And the same principle applies when it comes to manifesting any form of abundance, whether it's financial, emotional, relational. If you've been conditioned to believe that money is scarce or that you don't deserve financial abundance, your subconscious will align with that belief, and as a result, it will block you of experiencing your full potential. But just as your mind can be conditioned to believe in scarcity, it can also be rewired to embrace the abundance that is available to you. And quantum physics further supports this by showing that all outcomes, all possible outcomes, exist in a state of infinite possibility. And our focus, your observation, it will determine which version of reality you end up experiencing. So if you align your mind with abundance, it becomes easier to manifest financial freedom, opportunities, and other forms of wealth that resonate with your higher self. And as you move forward on your manifestation journey, it's really vital to acknowledge where you are right now and to recognize what rung you're at on your manifestation ladder, right? Being realistic. What are the thoughts I'm thinking about abundance today? What have I manifested in my life up until now? What rung are you at on your manifestation ladder? And dreaming big is encouraged when manifesting, but it's equally important to set intentions that stretch you just enough without causing you frustration or overwhelm. Right? So kind of getting honest with yourself where I'm at will allow you to then ask yourself, what is the very next rung on my manifestation ladder? If I'm making $2,000 a month, maybe a leap to $10,000 a month as an intention is too far up that ladder. You're reaching for a rung that is just not within your capacity to believe that it's even possible. But maybe going from $2,000 a month to $4,000 a month, doubling it, is already a quantum leap in your capacity to think and dream big, making $4,000 feel like a stretch, but not completely impossible. When you start to think things are completely impossible, then your mind, your subconscious will come in and sabotage your success. So I really encourage you to kind of climb up rung by rung. And you see, as you ascend the manifestation ladder and keep climbing the rungs, the growth and what you believe is possible becomes exponentially larger or greater, because now you have like proof and evidence in these like mini manifestations. Oh, I went from this rung to the next rung. Oh, look at that. That was possible. Now I can make my rung even greater, even higher for the next manifestation or the next intention. Right? So another example is if you're currently living paycheck to paycheck, right? Jumping straight from paycheck to paycheck reality to imagining a multi-million dollar business could actually work against you. It could trigger anxiety and self-doubt, which can ultimately cause you to abandon your manifestation efforts altogether. So instead, I invite you to identify the rung you're on and start there. Gradual progress creates momentum, and small victories build your belief in the possibility of even greater abundance. And it's also important to understand that your energetic vessel, in Kabbalah, we're all energetic vessels. And if you think of a vessel like a container can only hold so much abundance. But because we are energetic beings and we are made of light, we can actually expand as a result of doing manifestation work. We can literally expand these energetic vessels, making them larger in order to fit more abundance, to hold more abundance. But you don't want to ask for more than what your vessel can hold, because then it can cause a shattering of the vessel, right? And we see this in what's called like the phenomenon of the lottery curse, right? So like massive shifts like winning the lottery can be destabilizing if you have not yet mentally and emotionally prepared yourself for that type of instantaneous abundance. So many lottery winners, they're not prepared for such rapid financial changes. Their energetic vessel is not large enough to hold that amount of financial wealth, especially if they've been conditioned into scarcity thinking. So what ends up happening is these winners often lose their newfound wealth just as quickly as they gained it. And again, this happens because their subconscious mind wasn't ready to accept such a drastic shift in their reality, right? And so the same principle applies to manifesting abundance. Gradual, sustained growth is more important and more empowering than making a giant leap prematurely. Right? And this is also why breaking your desires down into manageable steps is critical. When you're manifesting a greater sense of abundance, whether it be a pay raise or financial freedom or an abundant flow of opportunities, take it step by step. Each rung on your manifestation ladder is uniquely tailored to you. So small shifts in perception, small shifts in what you believe is possible, and small shifts in the action you take can lead to profound transformation in both your financial life and in every other area of abundance. So by focusing on what feels both expansive and attainable, you allow your mind and body to adjust gently without triggering resistance. And this is where the real growth happens. Right? It's like, I don't even go as big as to say take baby steps. I say take kitten steps at the beginning, just to strengthen your manifestation muscle and help you grow your belief in what's possible, right? And at the core of asking for anything, any desire, at the core of it is understanding your why. Why do I want what I want? Your motivation or the reason behind your desire for abundance really fuels your actions and decisions. And when your why I want what I want is rooted in something meaningful, it actually energetically fuels you with a sense of purpose and passion, which ultimately makes the manifestation process feel more connected and aligned. And if your desire for abundance comes from a place of service or contribution or a desire to enrich and elevate those around me, you naturally align yourself with this energy of abundance. Right? The more I want to give, the more I'm going to receive. It's a spiritual, Kabbalistic law of how the universe works, right? Similarly, The energy you put out into the universe is the energy you're going to receive in return. And in quantum terms, aligning your desires with your why makes the energy you project more resonant and more magnetic. You are literally an electromagnetic being. You have a field of energy around you that is filled with information that you are coding every moment with every thought, every word you speak, every emotion you feel codes this electromagnetic field around you with sacred geometries that have this resonance that get pushed out into the universe and send signals to the quantum field, programming the quantum field with whatever it is you're thinking and feeling in every moment. And kind of like a computer program, it gets programmed and then comes back down and manifests as your 3D reality. Right? So your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions directly influence the reality you experience. So by focusing on why you want what you want, by focusing on what truly matters to you, whether it's freedom, security, wanting to be of service to others, you tap into the quantum field of infinite possibility and begin to draw in the abundance that reflects that true desire. So the manifestation ladder then becomes your personal guide. It helps you stay grounded while reaching for what feels right, just beyond your current limitations. And it's essential to honor where you are while also stretching just enough beyond your comfort zone to see a real change. And as you align your goals with both your heart's desires and the incremental steps you can take, you open yourself to an abundance that feels not only achievable, but truly aligned with your highest potential. So remember here, the universe is really truly ready to give you all that you desire. It's about aligning your beliefs, your thoughts, and your energy with the abundant reality that already exists within the quantum field of infinite possibilities. Take the next step on your manifestation ladder and see how the universe responds accordingly. If you enjoyed this episode, let's keep the conversation going inside the Manifestation Method Portal app, your #1 destination for Kabbalistic manifestation. Inside, you'll unlock the secrets of manifestation through my proven Abra method, rooted in Kabbalah, psychology, and quantum physics, designed to help you manifest real, tangible results from the inside out. Join our global community of manifestors, explore our signature courses, monthly live manifestation workshops with me, Ayelet, and access our transformational hypno activations and attunements to rewire limiting beliefs and align with your soul's purpose. The app is available now on the Apple App Store and Google Play. To sign up, head over to ayeletpolonsky.com. Becoming a co-creator with the Creator is your birthright. Let's manifest the life you desire and deserve together.